Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo and my son Michael, although he doesn't want to be on camera because he says this is my thing. And I'm headed to my day job, and as always, I'm here sitting in traffic in Washington, D.C., and it sucks as much as the Redskins. But I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report, because without you guys, I wouldn't have you to talk to, now would I? You know what? I have actually broken my own motto. I have been Mr. Negative Nelly on the Dallas Cowboys that we are 2-2 and having a slow start to the season and literally thinking the sky is falling like Chicken Little. I have forgotten my own rules. And that is, the first month of the season, don't get too excited about your team and having Super Bowl dreams. And don't get too depressed about where they are because they're not playing well. Because things have a way of changing and reversing. You know, everybody still has hopes except maybe the New York Giants right now. The New York Giants, well, they're the dumpster fire. You know, they are truly, I think they're out of it. But we're 2-2, okay? We're really one game behind the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Eagles, you know, they're playing really well. But if you look at the record of the teams that they faced, they're 6-10. That's the teams that they played. They lost to Kansas City and they beat up on some bottom dwellers. You know, they beat the Chargers, who are winless. They beat the Redskins, who are 2-2. They lost to Kansas City, and they beat the New York stinking Giants, who haven't won a game yet. So pump the brakes a little bit on the Eagles. But what I'll also say is, too, this time last year, you know who was the number 2 ranked team in the NFL? The team that everybody said, oh man, they're going to the Super Bowl? The Minnesota Vikings. That's right. The Vikings were undefeated 4-0. And by midseason, ended up tanking. The Green Bay Packers were kind of failing, and people were wondering, had Aaron Rodgers lost it, and maybe, should their coach be fired? And you Eagles, believe it or not, you Eagles were the 6th ranked team in the NFL. That's right. The 6th ranked team in the NFL. Let me ask you, how did last year work out for you guys? If I remember, you ended up in the basement by the end of the season. Am I right on that, Eagles? Because you guys were talking about Carson Wentz was the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was Pennsylvania and everything else. And then the wagon wheels fell off. Even the Rams last year, with Jeff Fisher, were 3-1. They ended up 4-12. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and say that everything's hunky-dory, but there's still a lot of football left to be played. And a lot of the teams that we're now looking on the schedule and saying, oh my God, they're a great team. Well, there's injuries out there. There are teams that all of a sudden just fail. When you start looking at the Packers actually right now are getting beat up. The Redskins played fantastic last night, but they ended up losing a lot of guys. You know, Josh Norman's going to be lost for a few weeks. You know, you look at the Raiders. All of a sudden, Derek Carr, who hasn't exactly been playing that well, is out 2, 4, maybe 6 weeks. So it's way too early to give up the ship and say we need to tank and get another high draft pick. It's way too early to give up on the team. And I'm going to get out of the negativity, and I'm going to deal with this season week to week. And right now what we need to do is focus on the Green Bay Packers coming to town. We have them at home. We're getting some key players back on defense. And we have time to try and work on our offense this week and get some things figured out. And hopefully, just hopefully, we'll get it together. Our defense will definitely be a lot better with Sean Lee, as well as having Hitchens in there too, also to help work into the system, and having another pass rusher in David Irving. So, don't give up the ship. Don't be a negative Nelly like I've been the last couple of days. I believe in these Cowboys. I believe in the talent that's on the field, and I believe that we can get it together. Mike, anything you got to add? No? Mike's got nothing to add, so that's where I'm feeling right now. So I actually feel a little bit better right now and thinking about where people were this time last year and how they ended up. So as always, friends, I'm Mark Holmes. It's Cowboy Joe Boo. And that's Michael right there. And finally, the traffic is beginning to move. I will see you guys later.